Hello friends, welcome to Big Data Testing session. In the previous video session, we had looked into software test lifecycle and different test artifacts. Today I am going to explain different levels of software testing. Before starting the session, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ganesh Hegde, working as Senior Engineer at Kpro Solution Private Limited. Kpro is a leading provider in Datalake, cloud implementation, IoT, blockchain, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and mobile application development. The agenda for today's session is unit testing, integration testing, interface testing, system testing, acceptance testing, regression testing. Let us look at unit testing. Unit testing is a verification of smallest unit of the software design or component or module. As I said in the earlier video session that unit testing is a white box testing and it requires special skills to understand the code, what it is doing and how it is doing. Basically, it is done by software developers. The intention of unit testing is to check the typo errors, improper loop termination, incorrect logical operators to find out the bugs in the early stage of software lifecycle and prevent them carried forward to the further stages. Let us see integration testing. Integration testing involves two or more modules or functions together with the intent of finding defects between the modules or functions. Purpose of integration testing is to test more than one related modules or functional groups to check the flow of control. The emphasis is to validate the interface between the modules or functions. There are two approaches in integration testing. One is bottom-up approach and another is top-down approach. Let us look at bottom-up approach. In this approach, the basic module of the system is tested first and testing progresses along with the parent module. If the parent module is not available at that time, a dummy module is created and that module is called stubs. On the other hand, top-down approach starts from the main module and testing progresses along with the submodules. If a submodule is not available at the time of testing, then a dummy module is created and that is called driver module. Let us see the next testing level, that is system testing. It tests the entire system as a whole application or build. Before starting, testing team should confirm that complete build or software with all the requirements should have been deployed in the testing environment. Testing environment is one which is identical to production environment in terms of third-party software versions and configurations being used. Before starting system testing, the unit testing, integration testing should have been completed and there should not be any open defects. Purpose of system testing is to test entire system as a whole. Emphasis is to run all the functionality from end to end. Testing team also confirms and certifies the product compatibility with the OS and other infrastructure related software as part of system testing. Let us see the next level, that is interface testing. Interface testing is to test the interfaces, particularly the external interfaces with the system. Consider enterprise application which gets the data from different sources, say XML files, Excel files, flat files, mainframe system, web services. Obviously, the data type of this data would be different from one another. Consider this data will be landed in one location, and the data will be converted to a single format and loaded to enterprise application. That's where interface testing comes into picture, and it tests whether the data converted to the single format properly or not, and then integrated to the enterprise application correctly or not. Let us see the next level, that is performance testing. Performance testing is a non-functional testing. It is to verify whether the system is able to meet the performance requirements, including number of transactions, throughputs, capacity, online and batch processing. There are various types of performance testing like load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, volume testing. In load testing, the system is tested in a controlled environment by increasing the load step by step to find out the point where the system stops working as expected. In stress testing, the system behavior or product behavior and stability are checked under limited resources like CPU, memory and disk space, etc. Scalability testing is to test the software application for determining its capability to scale up in terms of non-functional aspects like user load, number of transactions, data volume, etc. Volume testing tests the application with large amount of data to be processed. The goal of volume testing is to check application behavior under varying database volume. Acceptance testing is to verify the system from user perspective. Emphasis of acceptance testing is on evaluating the system through normal business circumstances but in a controlled testing environment. Broadly, there are two types of acceptance testing: alpha testing and beta testing. Alpha testing is done at the end of development phase. Hence, there will be a defect and possible design change in the software product. On the other hand, beta testing is done by end user. The software would be available in the client environment. Here we need to remember one thing, that is, the beta version of the software is not ready for production purpose. Next test level is regression testing. Regression testing is to ensure that areas that were not directly modified have not been adversely or unexpectedly affected by the changes. Consider a software product is deployed in testing environment. Team will go for execution, and the bugs which are raised as part of execution are handled in tracking tool. Then team will identify some tests which are essential for retesting these bugs. Also, team identifies regression test cases which are affected due to this bug. And this process continues until all the defects are fixed. Once everything is fine, the software will be shipped to the next environment. Let me quickly summarize the topics which we have covered today. We have seen unit testing, integration testing, interface testing, system testing, acceptance testing, and regression testing. Thank you for watching this video. In the next topic, I will be explaining about test case design techniques for white box testing. It covers statement coverage, branch coverage, conditional coverage, path coverage, and cyclomatic complexity. Kindly provide your valuable feedback as a comment and let us know any topic you want us to make video, or any issues which you are facing in your project, please email to us at feedback@kpro.co.in. Thank you. Let's keep learning.